Hi everyone, welcome to our lesson 32. My name is Professor Robert. In today's lesson, we will practice long division of polynomials. All right, now let's just dive into it. Let's suppose you're given example number one, 9x squared minus 1 divided by 3x plus 1. Now, as we saw in our last lesson, we have 9x squared minus 1 being divided by 3x plus 1. So, um, we look for a factor here, which when multiplied by 3x will give us 9x squared, and that would be 3x. Because 3x times 3x will give us 9x squared. Next, we multiply 3x by 1, which will give us plus 3x. So, in this case, we've got the difference between this new expression and the first one will be minus 1 minus 3x. So we then look for a factor here, which when multiplied by 3x plus 1 will give us minus 1 minus 3x. And that factor should be 1, negative 1 rather. So negative 1 multiplied by 3x will give us negative 3x. And negative 1 times 1 will give us negative 1. And the difference between those two will be 0. So again, this expression here we started with is called a dividend. Dividend. And this one is called a quotient. And then this one here is called a divisor. Divisor. All right. So let's look at another, probably a little bit more complex, but nonetheless doable. Another example. Let's suppose you are given a much longer polynomial, or a little bit more complex, 3x squared minus x plus 1 minus 2x cubed plus 3x the power 4. And all this is supposed to be divided by x squared plus 1. So we look for the variables and look for the variable that has got the highest index or power, and in this case is 3x to the power 4. So look for a value which when multiplied by x squared will give us 3x to the power 4, and that will be 3x squared. Because 3x squared times x squared will give us 3x to the power 4. And then we multiply 3x squared by 1 and we get 3x squared. So in this case, we've got 3x squared plus 3x to the power 4. So when we subtract, we get 0 there, and between here, between 3x to the power 4 and 3x to the power 4, we get 0, and we remain with minus x plus 1 minus 2x cubed. So we now look for a factor which, when multiplied by x squared, will give us minus 2x cubed. And that one would be minus 2x. Because minus 2x times x squared will give us minus 2x cubed. And then when minus 2x is multiplied by 1, will give us minus 2x. So we again try to subtract our newly found expression from what we have at the top here. So minus 2x cubed minus 2x cubed leaves us with a 0. And we have this positive 1 there. Then here we have minus x minus 2x will leave us with x, positive x. So this is what we have as a remainder. So this value here becomes as the remainder, simply because we don't have an expression which, when multiplied by x squared, will give us x. So that's the remainder. And again, this one is considered to be the dividend. Dividend. And this expression here is called the quotient. Quotient. And then this expression here is called the divisor. Divisor. So the answer to this expression will be 3x squared minus 2x plus this remainder x plus 1 over x squared plus 1. And this will be our final answer. All right. Now, if this lesson helped you, don't forget to like, share with anyone you think needs it, and subscribe for more algebra made simple. See you in the next lesson. Bye for now.